When I first came to your house, I was blown away by how different you were from most of my other hospice patients because you were not giving up your power over cancer. You were not lying back and, poor me and what am I going to do? And you weren't full of fear. And I left you that day and I thought, I kept thinking about your vibrancy, your unusual way of looking at this process, how empowering it was. And I was just driving in my car and I just got a total goosebumps all over and just thinking, she's meant to write this story. This experience with you has changed my personal beliefs about death and dying to be so much more inclusive and to be so much more humbled by the cycle of life and the trust in the continuation of our energy going on. I've believed this for a long time, but by being with you, it has really solidified in my own mind that you just cannot destroy energy. Like the physics law says, it only can change form. And for me, that's really what dying is about, I don't believe this wonderful, shiny, passionate spirit of soul just gets poof, snuffed out like a candle. I don't believe it. So I believe that, like my supernova dream for you, that your energy is going to separate from your body and it is going to go out and join with the universal energy and it's going to come back in another wonderful form.
What I'm looking forward to is a mystery. So much of life is so superficial that finally I'm going to get an opportunity to pierce my way through the veil and discover something that my conscious mind can't conceive of now. Yeah. So I'm letting go of all the little negative things that were nipping at my heels, and I'm preparing myself maybe for the supernova, the incredible opening of my heart to everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's total transformation.
Yeah.
I have patients ask lots of questions about, well, what's it like to die? What happens to you physically? How will I know when I've got like 2 days left? And I can't really predict 2 days, but we do talk a lot about the body and how it deteriorates and what occurs. And my job is to explore with them what fits for them. What do they believe? What is helpful to them? The ones I struggle with are those that tell me nothing exists. In order to really think about that and be okay with that, I just simply imagine what must it be like to close your eyes and there to just be darkness. And isn't that a form of peace? And so maybe what's beyond when there's nothing is peace. Process is all about calming yourself, getting to a place of peace, being settled with knowing that it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay.
So you were talking about the shift in consciousness that takes place in certain patients.
But it's just that initial, you're being attacked by cancer, you're going to fight back, and then a transition over time to this is what my life looks like, this is what I'll define as quality of life, this is what we can do. I was thinking, isn't it interesting how we honor our dead and remember our dead and love our dead, and yet the idea of being dead or dying is so scary to us. And I don't know how much of that is just the human or animal psyche, that death is inconceivable, versus some expectation, that's been built up because, gee, we can always do well, we can fix any problem that's there. So I do think recognizing mortality would be a huge step in terms of making rational decisions. I think it's really painful to see somebody spend all their resources in the last 6 months of life, and all their family's resources sometimes in the last 6 months of life, when it really didn't change too much. I think the hard part for some people and that we talk to is that value judgment. Okay, what does this mean to gain 6 months? What does it mean to gain 2 years? And what is that going to be in terms of meaningful relationships with your family and loved ones? And I think when people are at peace with their decisions, then it's very nice and simple.